You will drown in eternal night.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Mortal Kombat mobile character review. Today we are going to take a closer look at Covert Ops Cassie Cage, the girl that breaks the block for all Spec Ops teammates and is incredibly popular. Covert Ops Cassie Cage is part of the Spec Ops class and her passive is called Covert Ops. All Spec Ops teammates have a 25% chance of unblockable attacks. Since Covert Ops Cassie Cage is in the game, she was always a part of the exclusive Gold Pack characters, which were composed of Covert Ops Cassie Cage, Shaolin Master Kung Lao, and back in the days also Assassin Kitana, who has now been converted to Diamond. Covert Ops Cassie Cage was maxed out with level 50 and Fusion 7. Back then also her passive was exactly the same as it is now, so no changes have been made here. Since she was an exclusive Gold Pack character, she never had a price in the store, but now with the new store she's actually available for just 250 souls. Later on, her level cap was raised then to level 60 and Fusion 10. Cassie's gear piece is the body armor and it gives you 45% toughness boost, 50% resistance to all debuffs, which is for Cassie Cage characters only, and 50% opponent critical hit chance reduction. In terms of her feats of strength, she will have to perform 3000 combo enders to unlock her rune. For her victory stances, she will have to win 750 matches in faction wars. For her taunts, she will have to perform 250 X-ray/fatal blow attacks. For her icons, she has to perform 2000 special 1 attacks. For her background, she has to knock out 1000 enemies. And for her titles, she will have to perform 1500 special 2 attacks. And now let's take a look at the victory stances one by one, starting with Double Down. Next up we have No Chance. Third would be Come Get Some. And exclusive for Covert Ops Cassie Cage only, This Girl. And on your victory screen, it will look like this. Now I'm going to show you all of her backgrounds. Next up we have the icons. And finally the titles. Covert Ops Cassie Cage has 2 different kinds of combo enders, starting with high punches, going into 2 high kicks, and a low that takes the enemy down to the ground. The second one also starts with high punches but then transitions over into the use of the police baton, and this attack leaves the opponent on his feet, making it ideal for follow-up attacks. Her special one is called the Glow Kick and it has no special buffs or debuffs tied to it, it simply deals damage. Please note that this attack is also capable of knocking out your opponents. Her special 2 is called Air Assault and it deals a high amount of damage, and it has a cripple effect on top tied to it. Needless to say that this massive attack is of course capable of knocking out your opponents. Her X-Ray has the funny name Testicle, and it has a power drain effect tied to it. And as all Cassie Cage variations, this X-Ray is completely identical with all of them. In terms of passive, there is not that much to show because she simply breaks the block, which goes, by the way, also for all of her Spec Ops teammates, making her not only a very dangerous opponent but also a great supporter. And now it's time to recommend some gear for Cassie Cage. And in this case I would go with the body armor first, especially because she has this 50% resistance to all debuffs, which is absolutely amazing already on the get-go. The toughness boost is also nice, but not really that interesting to me personally. But then of course keep in mind that you can amplify that with the talent tree by 20%. Or as an alternative, just use Sindel's Signet Ring, which also gives resistance to several debuffs at once. My next recommendation, and that might be a little uncommon, that would be Datusha, Bane of the Moroi, and the reason here for that is simple, because she already has that natural block break. She can amplify her special attack damage with Datusha, and that goes for Special Attack 1 and Special Attack 2 at the same time, so with one gear piece you cover both of these special attacks. If you would rather have some more damage on her basic attacks, then there is only one choice to go for, and that's the Combat Knife. This will give you 50% extra basic attack damage boost, and if you choose to use that in Faction Wars, you will get another 15% damage boost. And those 15% not only include the basic attacks, but also the specials. Choice number 4 would be the Soul Medallion, simply because you can cut power costs of Special 2s in half, which means if every time you perform a Special 2, you will still have a Special 1 ready, and either can use that or get very fast to your next Special 2. On top of that, it also provides 20% power generation boost. And the winner in my book is the Wrath Hammer. 20% attack boost plus a starting bar of power at match begin. That's the perfect weapon for Cassie Cage, especially if you combine that with the Soul Medallion. Next we have the character recommendations for Covert Ops Cassie. And the first character who comes to mind is of course Balanced Kenshi, since he provides 1 bar of starting power for all Spec Ops teammates. The second character I love to use together with Cassie is Demolition Sonya Blade, who gives 30% attack boost to all Spec Ops teammates, which is pretty much like 1.5 Wrath Hammers just without the bar of power. As third character, and that's also quite interesting, just use classic Sonya Blade, because with her in the team, Spec Ops teammates completely ignore the toughness of the opponent. And given the high damage attack that Covert Ops Cassie launches, especially with her Special 2, ignore toughness leads to dealing massive damage. As a third one, that's quite simple, A-list Johnny Cage, who provides 30% health to all Spec Ops teammates. More health causes Cassie to last longer, and therefore she probably will just take out an entire team by herself. And the winner in my book and the best character to use with Covert Ops Cassie is Shirai Ryu Takeda. He boosts all the combat kits, so Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs and Kung Jin, and they gain 30% damage, health and critical hit chance just by having Takeda in the team, so every time you play Cassie Cage, Shirai Ryu Takeda should be an obvious choice. For a basic gold character, Covert Ops Cassie Cage is actually quite amazing, given the high damage output, the way she plays with her smooth basic attacks, and the almost seamless chaining from one basic to another leading into special attacks, the cripple effect on special 2, the block breaking passive which transitions over to all Spec Ops teammates if you play them together. So all in all, the perfect package, if you will, and some people even say that she should have been one of those considered to have undergone the diamond transition, and I would even go that far to say to remove Punk Cassie Cage from the Strike Force team and replace her with Covert Ops Cassie, because she together with the former Undead Hunter Johnny Cage, that would be just impressive. On a side note, she also looks way more Strike Force than her Punk variation. So then let's get into the pros and cons again. My first pro, that is the amazing passive with the block breaking ability for all Spec Ops and of course herself. With this passive you can easily erase even difficult and high health opponents without even breaking a sweat. Second is the great chaining of her basic attacks, and those who play her a little more will absolutely agree here. Once she found her rhythm, there is basically no stopping this girl. She just eliminates one character after another, and it's just a joy to watch. Third pro is the incredible Special 2, with the nice cripple effect tied to it to disable special attacks of the enemy for a few seconds, giving Cassie Cage a constant advantage against her opponents. As far as the negatives go, I would say the boring victory stances are not really that incredible to look at, but this one is just really a minor complaint, because in all honesty I don't have anything regarding the gameplay. Second con maybe would be the Centaurian defense perk, especially because she constantly uses unblockable attacks, so if the opponent is using Centaurian defense, there is a high chance that these attacks are reflected back to Cassie Cage and her teammates. And the problem here with Centaurian defense is simply that you cannot turn off your unblockable attacks, so each time you land an attack you are basically at the mercy of the percentage this perk might kick in for the opponent or not. Then my third one, and that's an absolute nitpick, so don't take that one all too seriously. I find it a little bit sad that she only supports Spec Ops teammates with her passive. I would just love to just put Cassie Cage in whatever team, and then that passive carries over to all other characters regardless of class. But yeah, then let's get to a final rating for Covert Ops Cassie Cage, and I have to admit, that's a straight 10 out of 10 for me. This character is pretty much perfect. All the flaws are basically due to the talent tree or some perks or gear that other characters might use against her, which is absolutely not her fault. So Cassie Cage, as a basic gold character, is absolutely amazing without any flaws. Great basic attacks, great special attacks, awesome X-ray, smooth transitions between basic and special attacks, so there's absolutely nothing left to be desired. As I already said, this character is a blast, and it's incredible that she is actually just available in the gold pack, so for quite a low price you just need a little bit of luck or wait until she shows up in the store again. But yeah, that is Covert Ops Cassie Cage in a nutshell for you guys, and by this we reached already the end of this review video, and I hope you had a good time here. Because I most certainly did. Thank you for tuning in once again, and as usual, I will be back with the next video very soon. Until then, you can choose one of the 2 videos that are up here right now. Please like, comment and subscribe. And also don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you will be informed every time when I upload a new video. Take care, Casey over and out for today.